99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. And we're not trying to bring the room down with this topic that we're in right now, but it is important to think about what you would do in certain situations as you get older and you think about bad news that could arrive.
You can think about it and try to be prepared, but sometimes you don't know how your body or your mind is going to react.
And that's just the thing. So where were you when you got the bad news is the question. 470-741-4999. Hey, Morning X, good morning.
Hello.
Hi there. Who's this?
This is Lynn.
Hey, Lynn. So where were you when you got whatever the bad news was that you got?
I was on a weekend getaway in Destin, Florida.
From Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, and so what happened?
I was there Friday. We were supposed to stay Friday through Monday, and on Saturday afternoon, got a phone call from my mother telling me that my niece, my only niece, had committed suicide.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's awful.
My brother's only child.
So sorry that happened to you. What is that? Did that put you in that weird numbness spin?
Yes. I mean, you're 6 hours away from the worst thing, that's ever happened to your family. You can't get there fast enough. It was paralyzing, because I wanted to leave, but I wasn't in the emotional state to drive back. And it was just, I don't ever want to have to go through that again. I don't want anybody to have to go through something like that.
And sometimes you don't even remember certain aspects.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you tell people, Leslie or Lynn? What do you say when you're like, when this happens to you, do A, B, and C, but you can't even be prepared for what that feels like?
Absolutely not.
And everyone's different.
I am a first responder, so I have been I've been to many scenes where there's been, someone has committed suicide, and I never thought it would happen to, my family. But even going to those scenes, it's bothersome. You think about the family that's left behind, and then it becomes so close to home. All the words that I've ever said to family members on a scene, those words are not enough to say to my family or even for someone to say them to me.
Right. I had a similar situation to you, and it was a really good friend. It was a girl, not a girlfriend, but a friend. And we had gone to a pre-game. This was when I lived in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. A pre-game, party before the game. It was like a late afternoon game.
Right.
And she didn't go to the game. We all left to the game. You're in the game, whatever 80,000 people, whatever it is. And I got a call that girl tried to commit suicide at the where she was, like where the party was. The party was at a loft, and it was a really good friend. And that is the strangest. Now she didn't, but that is the strangest feeling.
Right.
It's all coming back to my head right now.
Do you remember how you sort of dealt with it?
Yes, I was way up in the upper deck. That was the old Barnes. Way far away, and started to run down the, because you don't know what to do, but there's so much energy in your body.
Yep. The adrenaline is pumping.
That you don't know what to do. So I started running down the loops, to get out of the stadium, down. And at this point, this is like early 90s, so there's no Uber. There's just a taxi if you can find one, but the game had just started. So I'm just trying to talk on my phone to the people, and the roar of the applause is happening, and I can't hear very well. I'm trying to flag any It feels like you're in a movie.
You're panicking.
And
you're searching for help, and you're at a game.
And then you're chasing to where is the situation, and I tried to find where all my friends were. I couldn't get to them.
Wow.
I finally got a taxi, finally got to where they were, but then they had moved and gone to a hospital, and it was, pills. So they do that thing where they make you drink all the stuff, But my point is, you don't know how your body is going to handle it.
Nope, do not.
No. And in my situation, I just sort of shut down. I think I was just in shock.
Yeah, it's sorry that happened to you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing the story.
Absolutely.
It's a great lesson for people to pay attention to as, parents get older or as situations get, grim, to just pay attention to where, my dad died while we were on the air.
I know. And this was recent.
This was in the spring. And similar to yours, Leslie, you got the call. The first thing that we went out of a break and my phone was blowing up. And this was back in April. And I pick it up and it's my brother telling me that, and we kind of knew that it was coming, and you still just drop out of yourself.
What are your coping mechanisms? You don't know.
But then I was like, what do you do? If I leave, it's not going to bring him back.
Yep.
It's not going to change anything.
That's how you dealt with it, you just kept going on.
When we were in Destin and, we paid for the weekend and everything, staying in a really nice condo, and I knew, there was nothing I could do. And some of the people I was with, they were like, are you sure you want to leave? This is a lot of money, blah, blah, blah.
That doesn't matter.
And I'm like,
yeah,
it doesn't. You have to get home. There's just,
all that goes out the window.
Did not matter at all. If I had the money in the bank, I would have taken a flight so I could get to my brother fast enough.
Well, thank you for sharing the story. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I hope your friend is getting help. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, that was 30 years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah. So she's alive and well. So obviously she did. But
good.
Yeah, that's just, think about what you would do in those situations. But on the flip side, like Leslie, the other story about the woman who decided not to tell her husband who was at a national championship game, kind of the same situation as mine, but different because you have to make the choice. Do you deliver the news or do you sit on it and just let them get through what they're doing and then tell them?
That's a hard one.
That's a very hard one.
Right. Will they resent it? Because I want to know right then. You can't change it. Anyway, thanks, Len. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.